Good afternoon, live and direct from the ranch. What's up, fellas?
What's happening?
What's going on?
Sports Talk Live in the building. How's it going?
What's up?
Oh, man, it's great, great.
Weather's getting a little warmer out there. It was cold, a little snow. We had everything going on this week. How you guys feeling?
Good, man, good. You know, we are starting our pro football withdrawal.
Yeah, but hey, it's 24/7.
Yep.
365 days a year.
And we need this break, I guess.
And you need this break, but the NFL is still in the headlines. Definitely we're going to jump into that pretty shortly, real quick, how we do out here with the NFL. You guys feeling good? Let's talk about the topic at hand. The hot topic at hand. We're dealing with the NFL. Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reid have reached a settlement, out-of-court settlement. They were set to go to arbitration later this month, and things are about to get hot and heavy. People are going to have to go under oath. Things are going to be put on record. What's behind the scenes is going to become open. So both sides decided to go ahead and say, look, we're going to move forward. We're going to reach a settlement. There's been some talk. Nobody knows. It's a confidentiality on it. All these things is locked down tight. So you're never really going to know. Some people say you may get an idea of it but they're not sure. The Green Bay Packers are publicly owned, and what transpires for them, if they have to give money out or whatever, there may be some notes on that. But a lot of people believe it won't be a line item. It will just be, money taken from revenues. So this is how it went. I think the number one thing, Kaepernick started taking a knee for social injustice. That's what the whole thing was about. The NFL didn't like that. Everything's about business, about money. They thought their players taking a knee, it was going to hurt the bottom line. They tried to put some laws and things in place to stop them from taking knees, but that didn't go because, they have a CBA. They have a collective bargaining agreement. And all that went back and forth. So what do you guys take on the settlement? Are you shocked about the settlement? Yeah. You thought this thing was going to go all the way to the point for the proof of collusion. There's two things. There's their collusion case, and then there's, what they were kneeling for. The collusion case, which doesn't, just because nobody picks you up doesn't mean it's collusion. You have to, and that's in the CBA. Just because nobody signs you can stink.
Right.
Just because no one signs you, that doesn't mean it's collusion. You have to go ahead and prove that there was collusion by the owners. So what do you guys think? What's your guys' take on this?
Yeah, I'm going to jump out. I know everybody want to jump on this. I know everybody want a piece of this right now. So I'm going to jump out. First, I'm going to give a shout out to Keith Moore, Rob Hodge, my homie Mo, my homie Rob, David Harper, tuning in.
Yeah.
But cousin David Harper, I'm sorry. But yeah, like it was collusion, a whole lot of collusion, but I was actually a little upset. I mean, we all know what was done, but I was actually shocked that it feels like Kaepernick can really prove that he was being done wrong. It's one thing that everybody, not going to just sign him, but it had to be information that came out that he could really hurt the NFL image, and that's what the NFL didn't want to deal with. It was like, losing to this would be terrible. Like, so let's just pay out.
What are you going to gain? Yeah.
What are we going to gain? So let's pay out whatever we're going to pay out. I was shocked on Kaepernick, to take it. I thought Kaepernick would have wanted to drag it out and expose the NFL for who everybody knows they are, 80-year-old white men, what they're about, So I think I would have thought he wanted to expose them for what they are, but I'm not gonna go too far in depth because I know everybody want a piece of this. So I don't want to take nobody else's.
No, we got time. We're here all day, man.
I may come back. I may come back to it.
As they say, express yourself.
Yeah. If Dookie Doug don't hit it, I may come back to it. On some other stuff.
I have my things on it. I mean,
if you don't hit it.
Hey, this could we could do the whole show off this.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh yeah. I mean,
but I'm going to start by looking at first and foremost, if we want to talk about Cap, why he kneeled. If you let him, tell it why he kneeled, it was for social injustice inequalities, right? But if you ask somebody else why he did it, they will put a story out on him. So I had a problem with that from the beginning, because if I'm telling you why I did it, why is there another story out to why I did it if I'm telling you why I did it? So that's a problem within itself, right? But as far as the NFL and settlement and things like that, well, realistically, right, the man should have been playing football. Like, there's no denying that.
Right.
He's supposed to have a job, okay? We look at guys like Kirk Cousins.
Dearth of NFL talent at quarterback.
Yeah.
Listen, we already talked about guys like Jay Cutler sitting at home. He said he doesn't want to play anymore, but all of a sudden you make a call, and $10 million is on the table. Next thing you know,
there's some cats I didn't even heard of with playing quarterback.
Matthews.
Yeah, Sanchez even came. He might have been out the game for 3 years. So we know that he was supposed to have a job. Now, I think it's two things. The NFL, you know, like we said, we know this man should have been playing. Okay, how long has he been out the game? A little while, right?
Yeah.
So to them, it's like he was supposed to be playing. So let's kind of calculate the salary or whatever. All right, let's give him this, and then on top of that, we know the owners had a talk, you know, about, you know, whether we want to say they're racist or whatever, because some guys are just businessmen. All right, if we hire him to play,
businessman, or you feel you have your way of feeling about, you know, bottom line. I think a lot of times it's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sympathetic to your cause, but your cause is hurting my bottom line.
Right.
It's a lot of times it's not about the color is green.
Right.
That's what the bottom
you
line
can't
is about.
take away the fact that some teams don't need a quarterback, right? Like, some teams didn't need one. Like, we could go down the list. But when you start seeing guys get hired that you know that he was better than, then it's like, oh, now we know why you're not out. There's only one reason why you're not here. So he got paid for his salary, and then he got paid to be quiet. Like, that's why all this confidentiality is here. In that, probably states that, you know, we do not want you speaking publicly about the NFL and what happened to you and all that good stuff. But that does not, they don't want him spearheading anything, right? Because they want it to go away. I mean, it's $1 billion company that they want away, all right? And they did that, I believe, with this.
And they got a lot of negative impact. And a lot of people, I think they were going to settle from the beginning. I was talking speaking to Cash about this. And then you had the narrative that was starting to begin as a public image thing as Hunt got signed and picked up.
Right.
So now we're saying, okay, you jabbing women in the chest and the cheeks, we got no problem, you know, picking you guys up.
I mean, it's a long list. It's a long list of guys who didn't, whether it's drug tests, whether it's domestic violence or whatever, and they somehow either got suspended, but they still play football.
Still play football. Right? And now,
which I think is a whole lot worse. Than
he also got picked up
for something, right?
Before being proven innocent.
Yeah.
So
I think I wasn't surprised on the NFL side that they settled.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I think initially they drew a line in the sand. They weren't going to settle. You know, they probably thought it was going to go away.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It didn't, and he got a lot of backing. You know, if you use social media, you see prominent people backing him. You know, and I think then when Nike jumped in and backed him, they did the little campaign. So I'm not surprised that the NFL settled, and because they just wanted to go away. I mean, $60 million, $80 million. If they gave him $200 million,
it's a drop in a hat.
Drop in a bucket.
Right,
shared by the teams,
right, for the NFL. So the money isn't the thing. To me, I'm actually surprised. And I may be a little disappointed, man, that he actually settled,
right?
Because if it's like, when people usually stand for social injustice and things like that, they don't settle, right? They standing for what they standing for. So money is not the issue. You understand what I'm saying? So you know, that's like if they would have said, all right, look, you know, Dr. King,
right.
You know, if we give you X amount of millions of dollars to this such and such a cause and this much to you, will you end this boycotting, you know, Selma? Right. You know what I'm saying? Will you stop this? Would you stop that? No, he wouldn't have, right? So for him to settle, I'm actually a little disappointed because I thought, you know, it was about something bigger. And even when Eric Reed went at Malcolm Jenkins earlier this year, and he was saying, you know, he kind of hijacked the movement and it was all about the money. You know, he took Kaepernick's movement, jumped in, and then he took it and used it for his agenda. But it's kind of like, but then at the end of the day, you know, all you did was get paid.
Right.
So you did it. I mean, nothing's changed. I mean, people are still getting shot in the street, whether it's, you know, black, white, or whoever, poor mostly, right? They still getting shot. That stuff still happens.
And the point is, I think from the NFL's perspective is, look, the people weren't getting shot at our games. Like, the NFL was like, we got drawn into this. You know, we had to jump in. Bottom line is, we read it wrong because a lot of these guys in high up places, they're looking at it from a very high altitude. They're not on the ground and field level. You know what I mean? Exactly in the trenches on what's going on or how close you are to what's happening in society and what's going on, really. So you look at that, and you know what the owners are going to do. You know the owners are going to be about the bottom line. It's about the dollars. Like, we running the business or whatever. And then you look at Kaepernick, and Kaepernick's whole point was his piece is about social injustice. This is why I'm making a stand. This is my platform to make it. And then you have, the two parts. You have the collusion part and you have the social injustice part.
Right.
But it was interesting that, you thought you were going to go to the nth. We're going to take this, we're going to ride this out to the very foundation. And a lot of times that doesn't happen.
Right.
A lot of times it's like, look, what are you going to do?
Right.
We don't want to go to court. So what does it cost you to go to court?
I think you could look at it too in a couple of ways, right? The NFL typically does not settle with anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They do not settle with anybody. If they feel like they got you, they got you.
Right.
They're going to do what they're going to do. So the fact that they settled,
Yeah.
it kind of, I think they underestimated what it was. But then at the end, also to what you said, your point about what he said it was about and then what other people would say it was about, I think they didn't expect for it to get politically hijacked, I would say, as it did, right? On both sides.
Well, the media, the
sides.
media helped
so
out,
and then when the president got involved, like it kind of got hijacked towards it became a political stance for people versus. So it became even bigger than Kaepernick himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's when you started having people write their own narrative. This, it's this and this about the flag, and like I even had a conversation with a friend of mine, and I asked him, like, if this guy said this is what it's about, why is so many people?
Right.
And then he gave me his opinion. You know what I mean? He felt like the flag is a symbol. He's like it's kind of like a cross being on the wall, and you saying I'm going to take a knee in front of the cross. And it's like,
Well, people burn them crosses.
Right. So it's
mean,
so exactly. So but I understood where he was coming from.
Right.
I understood where he was coming from. Right. So it was like so to me. So my thing was like all right. So the one thing I think Kaepernick did wrong in this whole thing was when he wore those socks with the pigs on it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was because now you saying it like all cops, not just the bad cops. Right. So, but. Other than that, I think he like I said to my man, I said, go find me an instance, an interview, or anything where Kaepernick himself said anything derogatory.
You can't find it.
He didn't do it. Right. It was other people that were saying things, and it was getting.
That's what fueled it. That's what fueled it.
Right.
But so the fact that he settled, it just feels like it's like watching a movie and then the ending is like anticlimactic.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we.
I mean,
People go look. It's a lawsuit. Lawsuits get settled.
They do,
and it's a reason. It's a reason they get settled.
They do.
Right.
Cha-ching.
But absolutely
Right. But this
so then it makes his whole thing look like okay, like maybe when you started this 3 years ago or however long ago it was that this was the end. This was the long game. You was playing the long game to get $80 million guaranteed money that you.
Well,
might
I think what came into play too is the fact that we know he was supposed to have a job.
True.
So now because I can't get a job, and it's why I can't get one. It's not about my talent. Then I want to get compensated for lost wages.
Right.
So on top of that, then you can throw. Okay, we're gonna give you your money, but then we're gonna give you this amount of money. Now, when we give you this amount of money, guess what we want you to do? Because it's a number, it's a number, and we gotta. This is what we gotta do. Like let's be serious about a whole lot, right? When that bag of money is dropped in your face, even when you're a millionaire, it'll make you do some things, right? If I got $20 million, not just me personally, but we could probably talk about the average person now. $20 million is enough for you for the rest of your life, right?
Absolutely.
Depends on what you're into. If somebody come to you and they say, okay, here's $100 million, right? To stop doing this or whatever it is, probably 95% of people are gonna be like, all right, I'm going away. I'm gonna do it. So let's take that into consideration.
So like what?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, but I just feel
because that changed the game. I bet you it wasn't $5 million or 10 they gave him.
When I saw he had,
we know that
probably about 68.
And I imagine he had counsel with a lot of people. Yeah. But when I saw that, like when that Nike campaign came out, and it was like, wow, he got major people behind him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's okay.
Well,
You know,
like
if he
like
never plays again, he's okay.
we
You
talk
know?
about him being bought and all that stuff, but one thing that they cannot do is they can't stop him from being the human being that he wants to be.
Yeah, he can still speak on social injustice.
He probably can't attach anything to the NFL.
My cousin just said.
Right.
But
He can open up a school. He can do what he wants.
Shout out to Tony Brown. Just said what's up to you, son.
Hey, what's up, Tone?
Yeah.
Going back in the day, AP.
But on you, Dave. I seen he can still speak on it. But like what you were saying, Dave. It was a lawsuit. Yes, it was a lawsuit. And you said it was always about the money. Yes, it was always about the money. But where we are at is we wanted everything to come out. Right. You know, we want everything to come out that's never going to come out now. We want it, the drag and
let me see something about big business. It don't come out.
Right.
Now people may disappear.
Right.
A car's brakes may go out.
Right.
Cats is still missing in Pennsylvania with laptops and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
Yo, it's two ways to get a lawsuit squashed.
But we wanted when everybody found out. When everybody found out that that Seattle was interviewing Kaepernick, that all 31 teams emailed Seattle and said, listen, this ain't going to happen.
Right.
We wanted everything to come out.
Yeah.
Like, we wanted it all to come out. And that's where, Doug, I believe you feel the same way. Sunni. That's what we feel the same way. Is like, that's what we wanted to see for the ending. We didn't want to see the ending just fade away. Like,
Right.
Like, we wanted to see the ending be,
You want to see the smoke?
wow.
You wanted to see what names would attach to what, but let's go back though real quick to the NBA had a situation. Remember Donald Sterling? Right, he got caught. So, they put a vote out with all the owners, right? Who wanted him gone, right?
Which was Fugazi.
They didn't, of course, but you never saw the names who wanted him gone. Right. So it was like, okay, 29 owners wanted him to go. Yeah. I mean, and 3 said no. Right. We never know who those 3 are.
Right.
So you're not going to know everything.
Right. After that, those guys knew who to get in business
Of course.
And all that's public record, and they knew what he was about. The chick that was dating him knew he was about.
Right.
But the chick that was dating him knew he didn't like her. But, but hey, you got millions.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, I think kind of to David's point, right, that he can still do social injustice. So, if you think about it too, myself included, a little differently, is he took the knee for social injustice, but then he was blackballed because of it. So I guess him getting the money out of them, right, doesn't mean that he can't continue his fight for it.
Oh, no.
So,
like I said.
So it'll be interesting to see now. So does he continue to fight?
Yeah.
Or does he just go away?
Or even bigger than that, that does just because he took his stance. There's other players that feel the same way. I'm interested to see what they do. Do all of a sudden, do they say, all right, you know what, it's over? Or are they going to continue to take their stand? Yeah. So we're gonna find out about all this stuff. Man.
But like you said, he can continue on. But like you said, is he going to do it? Is he going to continue on pushing?
I think it's good. I think it's good because it's rare that the guy gets his due. I say
right. Normally he just pays the whole time. And then,
normally he takes the stand and he pays for the abuse.
And we talk about it
reaps the benefits
50 years later. Right.
And that guy never really gets the kudos for doing what he did.
We'll see.
I mean, he'll be in the annals. I mean, it's Smithsonian. He'll definitely he'll be there. He'll be recognized for taking a stand. And definitely. Yeah,
and that's the thing I was what I was so messed up about because. The Army guy actually said, you know what, everybody's jumping at him and arguing with him and cursing him out and blackballing him and doing this and emailing to threats, killing him. Yeah. He said, let me go talk to him and see why he feels this way. And he said, after talking to him, I asked him, could you please not sit down? Could you take a knee? Because taking a knee is actually honor and to them with the flag, So, because they all take a knee at the grave sites and everything when they see each other.
Right.
So, the knee wasn't even he didn't even make the knee up. He got told to do the knee from other vets.
That's what I'm saying. Like, like this is people again. Like,
so that's just like you say, the fake news. That's stuff they spin.
If you tell me, if you tell me,
you are the Army,
that you are kneeling for this reason,
right?
Why am I going to say no? He's not. Right. He's doing this for this. Like
and that's what he said. He said after he broke it down to me, I sat down with Kaepernick. I feel as though he had a real point at why he was upset, and I said, well, if you're upset like that, don't sit down. Could you at least take a knee for us? Right. And that's what he did. And He still got hurt for it.
The masses didn't like it.
So I mean, but you know, that was no different than anybody else that stood for social injustice at the time when something was socially unjust that they were, you know, that they were fighting against. They
John Carlos Stokely, you know,
they took a lot of
black
abuse,
clubs, you know,
right,
at the same time.
They were, you know, called you know, race baiters and things like that. So you know, that comes with the territory, and I'm sure he knew that when.
And everything you have to, and I think you have to look at everything in context as it is, because I got into a discussion many years ago, the difference between Jesse Owens and John Carlos, and when they took their stand or whatever, and the thing about, you know, how Jesse Owens handled that, represented America. But I told the guys, like, you're taking it out of context. Jesse Owens was treated better in Europe than he was in America.
Right.
When Jesse Owens refused to come and run, Jesse Owens was broke. He couldn't get a job. He was racing horses. So John Carlos and them knew that. When Jesse Owens went to talk to them, they was like, Jesse, you can't even get a job. So when you take and compare, you have to look at the context of when it was done, and the situation where it was done, and then you have a better understanding of it.
Well, that's a part of our problem, period, right? No, you know, you have different ethnic groups here, right? Nobody wants to take themselves away from themselves and put yourself in a place, try to anyway, of this particular ethnic group. Nobody does that. They just shut it down automatically. Oh no, they didn't do this for this. How about you just imagine, go sit somewhere and just imagine this is you in this particular position, and how would you feel? You know, nobody does that. Nobody.
Yeah. And definitely, and I think, that's definitely what you have to take a look at. You have to take a look at the situation. I think moving forward, I think the NFL really wanted to get by this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
one other thing about Kaepernick, right? He could be the guy. He can definitely be the guy. One of the guys that lead, you know, sort of social injustice, going on a speaking tour, college campuses and things like that. I just, you know, a lot of these people that got involved in the fight, to me, they don't really care either. You know what I mean? Like we live in this. Right. We live in Chester. We from, you know, different places in Jersey.
And look, we got
this stuff still happens.
Right. So look. We got we got 5 black males here. You know, shout out whatever. You get pulled over, your pressure going up. You know, that's just like 107.9. 107.9 used to be the gospel station. I used to switch to the gospel station when I was pulled over. That's real rap. I mean, that's real. You
know what I'm gonna tell you? For me, I'm good. If I get, I done stopped a lot. You know what I mean? In my life, I'm good, right? And you know, I'm on the right side of the law, so I'm okay. For me, now my son just started driving.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want you to do. I don't want him to, you know, move suddenly, reaching the glove box, get the registration like you're supposed to.
Have the conversation,
but not understand. And the fact that I have to have that conversation, like, look, son, this is what you do. This is how you do it. This is, you know what I'm saying? When it shouldn't be that way.
Right.
But you have to have that conversation.
Oh, the conversation.
Absolutely.
Oh, the conversation I had with my dad when he said, when you go get your driver's license, picture a suit and tie.
Yeah.
He said when you hand that license over to somebody of authority or on an interview or whatever, see you in a different light. Oh, this guy has a certain tie on. Whatever. This guy is not just like, you may catch you in sweats or whatever. It changed the could help you change your perception of.
And look, I made my son. He just got his a few months ago. Retake that picture. Smile.
Yeah.
I don't want you looking like a mugshot.
Right. I put a button up on, but that conversation is more.
We shouldn't have to have that conversation.
But we gotta have it more than we had a birds and the bees conversation like that. Yeah. We normally let that one go. Like they're gonna figure that out, you know. But that conversation we gotta have now. You know, before we had to have that conversation, but you gotta have that conversation.
And the thing is,
but look, I got pulled. I was just at Pinocchio the other day, and we got in a conversation. A cop, I said, "Oh, you a cop?" And we got in a conversation. And a conversation came up about violence and black. And he was nervous as hell, like, because I was a black guy. I said, if you was around your good old boys, you wouldn't have been nervous. Hey, he talks. I put him down. Like, you would have been, you know. But because I was there and I was in the conversation, you could see the nervousness of him. But once he realized that I wasn't, you know, some aggressive overly
Right,
aggressive
right,
person.
right.
He chilled out a little bit, but I'm like, listen,
Like
like,
have real conversations.
right.
And I don't think people understand, right? So you watch what goes on now, right? You see Meek Mills and he's hanging out with Robert Kraft and Michael Rubin from the Sixers, and I think what it is he's telling these guys stories about stuff that happens that these guys had no idea.
Oh, no.
Right.
Happens.
How
on
they
a
gonna
daily
know?
basis,
How they
right?
gonna know?
Exactly. So it's like when I'm talking to guys, people I work with, I told them, one time we got stopped. We were going to a Baltimore Ravens preseason game just because we didn't have nothing to do,
Right.
and we got stopped. I was speeding. Wrongfully, I was speeding.
Right.
I got stopped.
You just-
Normally, you get a speeding ticket and you keep on going.
Right.
But this day, these guys stopped us, took us out of they brought a dog out, walked around the outside of the car. The dog, they said something to the dog barked. They end up pulling us out the car one by one, asked us where we were going, took the car apart. When I say took the car apart, we got stopped. So you imagine a preseason game starts about what, 7 o'clock, 7:30. So it's about 6 o'clock when we get stopped in Aberdeen, Maryland, on the side of the road. We left the side of that road at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
We left the side of that road at 1 o'clock in the morning. So when I say they took the car apart,
They took the car apart.
door panels, carpet, seats,
Tires.
headlights, brake lights, they took the car apart. Nothing was in the car. They put it back together.
Hold on,
And then-
the cops did, or they brought mechanics
No,
out?
it was a rental car. Okay. The cops took it. They called the rental car company. They end up taking it. We had to catch a cab from Aberdeen, Maryland, back to Chester.
Wow.
From Aberdeen, Maryland, back to Chester. So when you say like certain stuff happen, and you like me, I know it can happen. So I understand, and I'm going to act a certain way in a traffic stop just because I know what can happen. You know what I mean? I don't know who
that
this
was
guy
terrible.
is. I don't know
Yeah,
what
you don't know
he's
who
into.
he is, yeah.
He could be the best cop ever, and I hope so.
Yeah.
And he could be the worst cop ever.
Right,
But I'm not going to give him an opportunity. But if you've never been in that situation, you don't understand. And until you talk to somebody that's been in that situation
Right.
repeatedly,
Right.
more than one time, several
Yeah.
times, then maybe you can understand that, okay, wow, I didn't know that.
And that's the situation you run into. My dad had an issue with Philly cops in West Philly, ended up moving out of West Philly, and also had a situation where I was a young and really couldn't breathe well. My dad was running stop signs. Cop pulled us over, motorbike. He was like, "What's going on? You running the stop sign?" He said, "My son's having trouble breathing." Cop turned on his lights, followed me, took us all the way to the hospital.
Yeah.
So you don't know
Right,
like
right.
you
And that's the thing. I have friends and friends of the cops.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I have people that I work with that were ex-cops. Like, I have a lot.
Yeah.
Not all cops or
Right,
police officers
right.
are bad
Nah,
people.
nah,
not
yeah.
all of them are
Nah,
bad people.
yeah,
But,
that's-
sometimes
that's
I
real.
guess
If you
what's the
believe
situation?
all cops are bad,
Nah.
you're bad. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know
It's just what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't believe everybody is bad that wakes up because they put
Right,
this on.
right,
like,
right,
like
right.
some people are cops because their family got killed by and it got
yeah.
done wrong. You know,
Right,
like,
right.
and so all it is about doing it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It's cops getting killed by other cops because they want to be the right way and they figure out that he's corrupted. You know what I mean? Like, so if you feel as though all cops is bad, 9 times out of 10 you're bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not all bad. It's
Cool,
not
cool.
all
I want to jump into this real quick. It's Cash, who's been on here, Go Cash Productions. He's doing a play. It's the second running of a play. I saw it when
Okay.
it first came out.
Go Cash.
Go Cash, and it's definitely really topical right now, and definitely in. It's called 674 Seconds to Judgment, running down in Art and Theater, and it's about Philandro Castile when he was shot and killed in Minnesota. The time between he was pulled over by the police officer and the time he was shot was 74 seconds. And that's what the play is about. And he comes from various backgrounds, different people in the play, different points of view. It's really excellent, and people should get a chance to go definitely check that out and see it. Cash has been on the show numerous times. He's a 4 for 4 guy, real good friend, a real good writer, and it's really what I like what he does. He comes from just different perspectives, and Cash is really good at that, providing all different types of viewpoints to his different subject. And then after the show, they have a conversation and talk with the crowd, which is pretty good. And when I went there last year, had a real interesting, I wouldn't say heated conversation with former Mayor Ed Rendell in the crowd. It was really good, but that's definitely something people should definitely check out. 74 Seconds to Judgment, Go Cash Productions on this topic, just really hitting home in doing that. So do yourself a favor, go check it out. It's really good. I'm definitely supporting really good, thought-provoking conversation and intellectual stuff along those lines. Definitely. But yeah, let's jump into the NBA as we get in here.
NBA.
A lot of things going on. We had the All-Star break.
Yeah.
We had the All-Star break right now.
This weekend, right?
It just started yesterday.
Then my man here, Pelicans GM fired.
Yeah.
Somebody got to go.
Gotta be.
Somebody got to go. The owner can't get fired.
Gotta be, man.
The situation with him being fired, a lot of stuff was on the table for AD, and he didn't pull the trigger on it. It was a lot of things they were asking for the Lakers. They were close to owning players and picks. Or are you going to do better than that come the summertime?
Listen, the Lakers gave away everything. As a Lakers fan,
that's why I didn't go down.
I understood, but I was so upset. And the Lakers was giving away so much stuff. Like it was like, if I'm Pelicans, it's too good to be true. Almost like it was terrible. Like how much the Lakers were willing to give away. Like, but they. Right, but I know that they talked to LeBron, and LeBron said okay every situation because LeBron must feel as though we can get, if we give away these pieces, Kawhi is coming next year, this person is coming, we'll be good. He feels maybe he talked to Kawhi, I don't know, but yeah, they feel as though they can get something in July. They feel as though they can get some Boston players, and he's probably gonna go to Boston. He feel as though they can get Well, Boston told him wait. Boston told him wait.
I don't even want to go to Boston.
Well, for him waiting, I mean, if they plan on him going to LA, the chance was now. So for him waiting says that they want to wait for Boston. Boston asked him to wait. Boston said everybody's on the table except for Kyrie. That's what came out.
If Boston want to make the trade without no guarantee that he's going to re-sign there, then if I'm New Orleans, I make the deal.
That's what they said.
That's not my problem.
Right. Boston said everybody's on the everybody is tradable except for Kyrie. That's what they said, and that's what we're that's the only thing I can think why they didn't make the trade. Like I don't know.
Well, how about the Lakers might have said okay. We really want AD, and then they looked at what they was giving away and said, you know what, that might not be a smart idea. Because listen, one guy's gonna go over it, and you're giving up 5. You only have like 12 players. So what you gonna do? You're not gonna be a better team.
I mean,
after this trade going into the playoffs because you got one more guy and you don't even have a bench. You don't have.
They weren't even trying to make the playoffs. They were trying to sacrifice for next year. You figure you get him to come over
this summer
player.
will be the guy you would try to pick up if you did this now.
If he wants to go to LA, he can go to LA and they can keep all their pieces. What, the year and a half?
Right. Because we signed about 6 players on a 1-year contract, so they all can be going, and that money can just go to him. Pretty much.
Well, I'm saying for like now.
Right now.
If you traded him now, they not. Look, LeBron and just him is not going to get it done. You're not going to the playoffs. You just basically throwing away the playoffs.
The kids, you threw away all the kids that's actually working hard.
Look, if he averages 30 and LeBron averages 30, that's 60 points.
Right.
What pro game is that going to win?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
right.
It's all about team.
Because they gave away the whole house. They was giving away the whole house.
So if you give away all your young guns and this guy goes
and
over,
draft picks,
who are you beating? Who are you beating with just them two? You're not beating anybody.
I'm surprised that the Lakers don't need any additional publicity. They don't need any. You don't have to sell the Lakers. I'm surprised that they, trying to give up the farm for one guy. I mean, just got.
They figure LeBron got 3 years.
You thinking that
maybe that okay?
Well, you thinking that this summer is a big summer.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because now, if you get Davis, right, it's so much out there. Like Kevin Durant's out
KD's
there,
out there.
Kyrie's out there. Now
Kawhi,
you throw one of them, and Kawhi, you throw one of them, and now you got your 3.
True.
And you just plug in little pieces in. But my point is, you got everybody else that you're going to go grab to put on this team that has those 3, they're going to be journeymen. We don't know what they're going to give. You got to figure out how to piece things up because these guys want max deals.
Right.
Or they going to say, okay, we're going to take pay cuts so us 3 can be together.
Right.
Yeah,
and then you got to pay,
I'm a little torn between it, right? Because I guess as a union guy, I'm not opposed to union workers basically these guys are CEOs of their own company, right?
Yeah.
So Anthony Davis is like a company bringing in a union outfit to do some work in there, right? So I'm not opposed to them guys getting as much money as they can get.
No, you got it.
But I'm starting to get like, it's like, look, man, either you want to get the money you want to get, or you want to go to the team you want to go to try to win.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one
The
other.
fact that you're trying to do both.
Both can't work. Both can't work. They did that with when LeBron, Wade, and Bosh played.
Right.
Both of those guys made $15 million a year.
Right.
That's the way it has to go.
Right. They all three of them. Actually, the weakest link took Bosh, which was the weakest link, got the most money.
It's like
Wade took the pay cut. LeBron took the pay cut. They all was under $100 million. That's contract.
I'm all for the worker to have leverage and power over the company.
Right.
I'm all for that.
Collectively bargain.
Yeah, I'm all for that. But
CBA.
but now when it's like well, you know, like at my job, I got the power. I'm in the union, so should I be allowed to say, hey, you know, I'm gonna go work on this machine because it's the easiest,
Right.
but I want to make the most amount of
Right,
money
right,
while
yeah,
I'm doing
right.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
That don't sound right.
that to me, that's it's starting to kind of turn me off. Like with that, like I said, I'm not opposed to these guys getting as much money as they can. See, that's the thing with Anthony Davis, why he's trying to force the trade, because he can get the most money from the Pelicans,
Right.
and then go to the team of his choice.
Right.
It's like,
because they're gonna
listen,
have to pick up the salary.
So if I'm the, and I hate to say it, if I'm the company, I'm sending you wherever I want to send you.
Yeah.
oh yeah. Once
care
hey,
what you
listen,
do once you
that's
leave
no
my team.
different than we look at
Because you're gonna get your money anyway.
right,
So what difference do it
right. It's
Well,
no different than
I was
switching
actually
up to
shocked. Like, you know,
sports.
we talking about, you know, LA because it seemed like it was going to happen, then it didn't happen at the last moment. But I was shocked that they didn't take the number one. We think projected the number one pick from New York, which would have been Zion.
Right,
Like
right.
I was shocked that they didn't. That New York. You know, New York offered that pick. You know, that was a potential number one pick. I was actually shocked that the Pelicans didn't jump at that. Because even if you get the number 3 pick, you still get Barrett, who is still an awesome player.
but he's not Zion.
Still a
man.
lot of
Yeah,
them.
but he's still a complete player. He's still a complete player, and we
How
don't
old is he?
same age.
I'm saying, how old is that?
What 20?
19?
Yeah, 19, 20.
19.
You know, let's look at history.
But you figure the thing
Let's
about
look at history about 19-year-olds.
Zion is too.
That's nobody else.
He
is
been
like
the man.
Zion.
Williams is too.
But if you
Nobody
Zion
else is
been
like
the man a little
Zion.
bit.
But I'm just saying, like
We haven't
at
seen
worst,
LeBron since LeBron.
right? But at worst, you get Barrett. Is what I'm saying. At worst, they're not going to like the New York is not going to get the 27 pick. So at worst, you get Barrett. You know, which is still
But you're gonna have to wait on for 3-4 years.
maybe 2 years, maybe 2
Yeah,
years.
see, we
Check-
may be in.
But
check
you
this out,
probably
right? Check this out in a different way, right? It's interesting that the NBA, the MLB, these guys have strong labor unions,
Right.
The NFL notoriously has the weakest and the worst union. However, the product is the best because any team could win. We don't know who's going to. We can speculate who's going to be in the title chase next year.
But that's the
any
beauty of
team
it.
could pop
But that's
up
the beauty of it.
from any city, small town.
Yeah.
We already know in basketball that the New Orleans Pelicans ain't popping up nowhere as a
No,
contender
no, they ain't
in
popping.
the near future.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? So the NBA
That's a fact.
and even the MLB, like we know who the power players are,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's just what it is.
And I
And
think-
I guess when it's like the unions are stronger and they kind of run it, and for us the fan, the reality showness of it that we like, we don't know who's going to win. This is
Right,
why we play the
right,
games.
right.
We kind of lose that, especially in the NBA. We know Golden State's going to be
They're gonna win
there.
the chip again. I'm gonna get that.
And like we know that, right? We already can look at the teams in the league, and we know that in the East,
We
it's
enjoy
gonna be-
watching the struggle.
we don't need the playoffs because we know it's going to be Philly, Milwaukee, Toronto, and Boston in the Final Four of the East.
Maybe
right?
if that 4 or 5 seed.
So we don't need. We
Philly
don't
may be
really
out.
need to look at right. We could just turn it off until
It's a
certain
ride we
date
enjoy.
on the
It's a
calendar.
ride we enjoy,
Whereas
you
football,
know?
we tune in every Sunday because we never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's
contracts too, right?
right
Yeah.
because their union is terrible.
Got some
And
shout
that
outs.
money's not
The
guaranteed.
guys that should be making the guaranteed money aren't.
Right, absolutely. Got some shout outs, man.
You want to do some shout-outs?
Yeah, got a whole list of Mr. Christopher Mann. Chester's own.
All right. In the building.
Bethany Benson King. How are you? Sean Anderson. Pete Chapman.
Is that the Wire?
The Wire all day. Michael Melanotis. Throna Bush. Danny Chichester. Iron Mike Starks. Robert Farmer. Iron Madison. Miss Amy Bolden. West Coast. How are you? Raquel Wells. Casey Johnson, fellow alumni, West Virginia State University.
All right, West Virginia State in the building.
Braynon, Miss Braynon, how are you? Thanks for joining. Eugene Wesley, what's up? Darryl Nelson. R.J. McHatton, what's up, my brother? Sean Harvey, how are you? The 31st pick of the Dallas Mavericks, what's up, brother? College teammate, how are you, man? West Philadelphia zone. Jamie Fisher, Mr. Wells, how are you? Y'all guys, thanks for joining, and Mr. Price.
Definitely.
Slide in there in the middle, like Tamir Bush, Coach Bush, brother.
What's up, Coach?
There. But just to slide on back on Anthony Davis. Like, how does Anthony Davis feel as a psychic? Like, maybe he should go talk to Kevin Garnett, because he almost feels like, as the main guy, main big man, I can't do it by myself.
Right.
Like how's that on his ego going further in his career too? Like, maybe that's why he wants to play with LeBron. Like,
well, I think
feels as though he's
LA and you can win.
He's putting up 24 and 10. His numbers is crazy. He's putting up crazy numbers, and they're still not coming out with the win.
I think the biggest thing though about Kevin Garnett, right, is the fact that, if you remember, you might be a little too young. He signed that 7-year deal.
I want the big ticket.
And once he signed that 7-year deal, the team really had no reason to go out and sign any other players, because he's locked in. He can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
So that's KG's.
Well,
his advice to guys: when you sign these long deals,
right,
you are locked in. You have no leverage. You can tell them as much as you want. I want out. I'm not coming.
Right.
You have no leverage. Now, if you sign a 3-year deal,
Right. Yeah, that's money.
you have leverage. With player options and things like that, you have leverage on who y'all need to go get some players, or I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But these guys are just, they not doing that. They just out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just jumping shit.
Yeah, they signed 1-year contracts. I remember that big ticket. When he was
$100
the
million.
most played.
Oh, yeah.
I
Without a
remember
doubt.
that.
Without a
Big
doubt.
ticket. But another thing with his squad was what happened with Joe Smith. Joe Smith signed a contract, and it was like for like a minimum, but they was paying him on the back end. And the NBA found out about it, and they took some of their picks. So it was a lot of
Right. Yeah.
That's what really.
And he ended up being broke too.
Right, and those picks were, and when they estimated who he would have got, like he would have had like Gilbert Arenas on his team. He would have had like his picks. That number was like prime players that did good in the NBA.
Gilbert Arenas was a second-round pick.
So, well, the pick, I guess one of the picks they took from
Everybody
him.
could have had him.
Right.
The picks they took from him equaled out to these players, and it was like it was a real major hit, and Joe Smith never panned out either. So it was like, that's really
And
what
he's
hurt
broke
him.
too.
Right.
Yeah, that's what really hurt him, because they was paying Joe Smith on the back end, and then I think it was the owner. Somebody said everybody's doing it. It was big about that. I don't know if y'all heard
Yeah, I heard
about
about
that.
Joe Smith.
Yeah.
I know Joe Smith is not even
Because
money.
they said, why would you take this minimum and you can go somewhere else and get a max contract?
Right.
Yeah, they was like, he could have went somewhere else and got a max contract, and he ended up taking like a minimum to play for them. But he took it to get paid on the back end.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean,
they
listen,
figure it all out.
wouldn't that raise eyebrows if you were like, I can get $50 million somewhere,
And that's what happened. They
and I signed for
investigated
$5 million? Something's wrong with that.
I just saw a thing the other day. KG still gets $5 million a year from, I believe, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Right now, currently, right now.
That's that long-term deal.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the original teams in the
Make visits.
the original teams in the ABA who didn't get an NBA franchise get TV revenue money. TV revenue money. That's $1 billion contract now than it was in the 70s. It's so much money. When ESPN did the story, they said, we don't want to be seen on television.
Yeah.
We just gonna keep cashing these $1 billion checks with no arena, no payroll,
That's it.
whatever,
That's it.
and
No
live our
players,
lives. No nothing. Like yeah, definitely.
Hey, sometime expansion to kill you.
Yeah, so definitely. I want to jump into these Philadelphia 76ers.
Uh-oh.
Philly.
We need to have a conversation because
Philly,
the
where
Boston
I am
because the
from.
Boston Celtics is owning these cats right now.
And
Psychologically-
luckily, OKC's not over here in the East either.
And here's the issue. Here's the issue. Right now, it's about to come out.
Yeah, y'all Philly
got
guys,
Keith
y'all
sitting
gonna
up
get
here.
in here. I know y'all got something to say.
I'm not
Keep
Sixers
stepping
fan, so
in.
I gotta talk about this. this.
Yeah, we got Keith stepping in here on the 76ers. How you doing, bro?
Good.
Welcome to the ranch. Welcome to Sports Talk Live for the culture.
Let them know. Like, don't believe the hype on the Celtics, though.
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't believe the hype.
Don't believe it.
You saw the. You guys seen the game, right? You saw the
We
game.
seen the game.
I'm looking at. This is what I'm
Gordon
looking at.
Hayward hit 6 threes, 7 threes. He's
I'm
done
not.
that all
I'm not
year.
even looking at Hayward. I'm looking at the fact that you probably lost like 17 out of 19. That's what I'm looking at.
We lost like.
And I'm gonna just leave it like that.
I was just say weird, but
True.
17 out of 19, 2-10,
Right.
2-10 against the big three other in there, or one and one of them Kwame didn't play, so against Toronto one time. I think the issue comes up when talking about that Celtic game. It was a big game. It was a big game with psychological stakes.
Always.
It was a big game because Kyrie didn't play, and we're like, look, we got Kyrie or not, we can still beat you. It's in Philly, it's in home. It was time to make a statement, and my man Embiid didn't want to tussle on the low blocks. That's what's bothering me.
Is that what he didn't want to do? He didn't want to
wanna
tussle.
do,
Who didn't he want to tussle down there? Though?
Oh, come on, man.
Al Horford. Is that where we at?
Man,
with Embiid?
if I got old school people on the line that saw the movie Penitentiary, Harper was like, fix it, get it right. You know what I mean?
But
Embiid took 8 3-pointers.
Can he do that in a 7-game series?
He's done it before last
Who?
year.
Horford.
What, this
Can he do that in the
this was just a
we going back to this 17 out of 19 wins now.
Can he do that
Well,
in
that's
a
what we
7-game
hope we
series,
can't.
though? That's
This
what I
what
want
we
to
hope
know.
we. This is what we
He's
hope
old.
we can.
We know he's old.
So that's what we banking on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hope he wears down.
Back to backs, right?
But the thing about it is, your man Simmons, he has to step up offensively.
Yeah.
And when you get your two best players that struggle against a team that really know how to defend them,
Right.
That's what's hurting the Sixers right now.
Right.
And coming down the stretch, they
but look,
they didn't play smart.
Like, go back to the previous game against the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
LeBron tried that wall off stuff, right? It worked for a quarter, right?
But also Embiid did work because the Lakers had no center that wanted to tussle and get rough with him.
Right.
So Embiid went and did 30 and 13. It was
Tobias
easy.
Tobias played well too.
Yeah. So I
JJ
think
did. Right?
Horford either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point. But this is the Celtics. The Celtics play tough defense, and I think it comes back to once again when we talk about it's about a team. You can get the talent, but you got to play smart and execute.
Hey man, the Celtics
Without
got
Kyrie-
players, man.
Without
You know what I
Kyrie,
mean?
you would think the Sixers are a little bit more talented. When the Celtics don't have Kyrie.
Well, they lost to him in the finals without Kyrie, right? I mean,
But it was a different team.
Team
though.
different- that was
Listen.
it's only 5 months apart. I mean,
Listen.
they lost 5.
Listen.
But now you got Butler and you got Tobias. You
Well,
added
Tobias
two
is
more
new,
people.
getting acclimated in the game. Like we can't really. He's still is he
Look,
playing 35
look,
minutes?
I don't
man.
care.
I don't know.
I don't
Is
care.
that-
who
is that-
plays.
Hold on a second.
How many minutes did he play? Did he play
Is that
35 minutes?
is that a Lakers fan asking? Is that a Lakers fan asking?
Oh yeah.
Because I think your team is almost done.
That don't have nothing to do
Yeah.
with it.
No, it has a lot to do with it. It has a lot to do with it. It has a lot to do with it.
All right, so
No,
listen,
hold up,
I'm gonna give y'all something real
We
quick.
get on my team.
I'm gonna give y'all something real quick, right? Boston has ball players. They got ball players, like they know, and they've been playing for a while. Let's be real. Let's be real, right? They got guards.
And
They got wing guys. They defend. They
But
play
let me-
decent basketball. And
But at one point, there comes a time we all played, we all competed, we always had somebody. You go down to the court that knocks you out, and
Yeah.
you don't get back on the court for 3 hours.
Right. Yeah.
At one point, or a team you couldn't beat in high school or something. At one point, you say enough is enough.
Yeah,
That was
at
You
some
gotta
point.
handle these cats.
That was last.
But this is
year?
you see the additions coming in, Harris, and the Sixers are making moves. They know.
You see the confidence that these guys play with against the Sixers.
Oh yeah.
Brown, Tatum.
right.
Because it's about you. It's about you never beating me, and I don't want you to beat me. You see what I'm saying? So Boston, right? The Sixers, they don't want to see them in the series.
I want to see that 4-5, man.
Yeah, they don't.
have to beat Boston doing stuff that
Yeah. Well,
they don't. That
Yeah,
Boston don't
they
expect
doing
them to
all
do.
the right
Like,
stuff.
for instance, we gonna back
To-
off you, Ben Simmons.
right.
We gonna have to hit a couple
Right.
of
Yeah.
jumpers.
You gonna have to hit him.
We gonna make you hit them.
They doing all the right stuff to try to prepare themselves to beat Boston. Now, the minute that they do, Everybody's gonna have problems the minute that they do that because Boston's the measuring
Look,
stick.
the difference is the Sixers is going out to prepare, like you said, for Boston and Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto and Boston said, "Oh no, LeBron. Oh, we winning this. We coming out." You know, that's the difference. Sixers still don't feel as though they're coming out. Boston feels though, no LeBron, oh, we're coming out.
Yo, yeah.
Toronto feels, no LeBron, oh, we're coming out.
Well, check this.
Don't forget about
You want to
Milwaukee.
hear something? You want to hear
Milwaukee, like-
this is real right now,
Don't
right?
forget about the Bucks.
All right, who
The
So-
Greek freak. Yeah.
so Cleveland went to the finals last year, right?
Right.
Cleveland beat who? Boston, right?
Right.
Kyrie and Hayward didn't play, and Cleveland wins by 5. If Kyrie plays,
They win.
Cleveland doesn't go.
Yeah.
And they
I'm not
just
sure.
lost by 5. Kyrie can make up 5.
I don't
He
know.
can do that. He got the ability.
I don't know if Kyrie's always hurt, and Kyrie has never made up anything in his life.
No,
We saying if Kyrie's not hurt.
in that game,
We said Kyrie not hurt. We said we got the
Kyrie's a difference maker.
same thing he made when
He's
he
a
made
difference
Steph
maker.
dance on that 3-point line. We saying that
Kyrie's there though. Does Tatum show out?
No, he
We don't
doesn't.
need him to. We don't need him to show out.
Do they even make it? Because Tatum haven't played that well.
Tatum does not step his game up.
Listen,
No.
Yeah, the jury's out.
guess what? Guess
Tatum
what?
averages 17 and not 26.
Guess
Yes.
what? I got a guy in Kyrie that can make up for his points in a big
But Kyrie's
game,
gonna
and we
average
saw that.
34 though.
And we saw that.
He definitely
So guess what?
But
Tatum or Brown could need a lesser role with Kyrie. He'll make up for their
but
points.
do you get there?
Oh yeah,
You don't need it.
Kyrie's that big,
Because
man.
Kyrie
He's that big.
is a 2.0 AI with a 3-point shot.
Yeah, he's that big,
consistently.
man. He's that big.
I don't know if he's 2.0 II.
Consistent.
I don't know about that.
He is
AI.
not.
I don't know
He's
about that. I don't know
He's
about
2.0 AI
wait,
with a
wait,
consistent
wait,
trade
Oh,
ball.
AI.
He is.
AI.
His handle.
Listen,
You
let me
went
tell you
too
something.
far.
He's not AI.
He might have missed more games
Listen.
right now than AI missed his whole career.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, listen.
Exactly.
I'm talking about
Yeah,
the
he
game
works
play.
hard. Yo, do you understand? When Kyrie has the ball in his, he works
Kyrie-
hard for them shots.
Listen.
He works hard.
That's okay.
Kyrie
That's
handle,
But
okay.
he's
Kyrie
young
jumper.
now. He's young now. So
That's
what
okay.
happens when he loses a step? Is he the same Kyrie? Because that's what he gets his points off of.
No,
All I
he
know
away
is-
like AI.
Huh? He's not. Come on,
Fades
man.
away like
Hold
AI.
on, hold on. This is what we're not going to do, right?
Fades away.
Now, I just had a conversation with a friend of mine this morning. Okay,
What's up, Dre?
About what?
we talked about franchise players,
Right.
Yeah.
and guess what?
What?
Players are not going to do. Everybody cannot hold or carry a franchise. Let's put that out there.
Right.
So I told him this. I said, listen, they can say whatever they want about AI, right? He didn't get along with this. People couldn't play with him. He carried the Philadelphia 76ers. That's what he did. And I told him this. I said, if you take Steph Curry, who we all know and we love, probably one of the sharpest shooters that we've seen, right?
Yeah.
If you remove AI and put Steph Curry on this 2001 team,
Yeah.
the Sixers do not go to the finals.
No. I guarantee.
They don't go. It's no,
Guaranteed.
no.
Listen.
Guaranteed.
No,
Guaranteed.
no.
Listen.
Carrying. We talking about. We not talking
I'm with
about
you
looking at the
because
stat sheet. We
listen,
talking about
listen.
carrying a
I'm with you.
franchise.
I'm with you because of the will of AI. Steph Curry
So
doesn't
so
have
we
no
don't need
will.
it. So
So
you
he
with
got
me?
no-
So you
I'm
with
with
me?
you. I'm with you.
So you with me?
But what I'm not with you is
What?
is Steph Curry would have still been the best player on that side. The best player.
There was nobody over there
This
offensively.
is what I'm saying. The best
So,
player
yes, he's
is,
gonna do that.
is Paul Pierce, Reggie Miller, Vince Carter. That's it.
But AI was better than them.
But that's
Ray
it.
Allen.
You can't say the
Ray
same
Allen.
thing.
Ray Allen.
You
Ray
can't say
Allen.
the same thing.
But that's it.
But you can't say the same thing for Steph Curry if he's playing that.
What I'm saying is, it wasn't.
We'll get the Golden State.
It wasn't that dominant. It wasn't those
When?
teams. It's better teams now than then.
Hold on.
It's better teams now.
The
than
Toronto
then.
team
What?
they had
Toronto team who had
and Milwaukee.
once they got rid of T-Mac, they got rid of
What?
T-Mac.
Toronto had a squad with Dale Davis and them and Vince Carter.
The Davis
and Al
boys,
Williams.
Vince Carter.
Are you
The
kidding
teams
me?
were better.
In
Del
Milwaukee,
Curry was on
Glenn
there,
Robinson
sharpshooter.
and Ray Allen.
The team
You gonna
was-
tell me they weren't good teams?
Big Dog was out of position. Big Dog.
No, he wasn't.
Big Dog was a shooting guard.
Listen.
playing
He
was a
power
small forward.
He was 6'4".
No, he was the
Listen,
small
6'4".
forward.
He was a
The
small.
big dog
he was a
6'8".
shooting guard
Big
playing
dog
power
6'8".
forward.
Big dog 6'8". He was playing
Yeah.
small forward.
He's a
Vin
shooting
Baker was the
guard.
power forward.
We got
Vin
a
Baker was the
timeout.
power
Let's get a
forward.
20.
Ray Allen was the shooting
Let's get a
guard.
20. Let's get
Ray
a 20.
Allen was the shooting guard, huh?
The Raptors, Boston, This Boston
And Milwaukee.
This Boston team is better than that Boston team with Paul Pierce and what was
And KG and
no, not KG wasn't there yet.
Hall of Famers.
They had Antoine Walker.
Antoine Walker, Kenny Anderson. You talking about that?
They-
But they ain't going. They ain't going
Team,
anywhere. They ain't
but not
going anywhere.
better,
But
better
that's
talent
what
than
AI,
that team.
that's what AI had to go against. That was
But
No,
listen,
no,
check
no,
this
no.
out,
We
though.
went through Indiana,
Yeah.
Toronto, and Milwaukee.
Boston.
No,
And Milwaukee.
Indiana, Toronto,
and
Milwaukee.
Boston too.
Boston, we didn't play
Boston
Boston.
put y'all out on record time.
Indiana, Toronto,
was next
Boston
year.
put y'all out. They shot like 90
Indiana
threes
put us out.
That was the year that after
Boston
that.
shot 90 threes
Indiana-
and put the Sixers out.
That was the year
Indiana
after
put
that.
us
That was the year
out.
after that.
It was the year after that, but that's
No.
the team.
Leading
You
up
know,
to that,
them
it was
teams,
Indiana
when the
was
Sixers
ready.
went to the finals.
No, the Nets
When the
wasn't
Sixers
putting us
went
out.
to the finals,
If you look
the
at
Sixers
the-
went through some good
if you
teams.
look
They went through Indiana, who was just in the finals.
No.
Indiana was
Come
just
on,
in the
man.
If you
finals.
look at the teams that the East played,
The Indiana was just in the finals
they
against the
played-
Lakers.
The Jersey Nets made it twice with that team.
That was after. That was after.
Reggie Miller.
No, not the Nets made it with
Jason
with
Kidd,
Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin,
Richard Jefferson.
Richard Jefferson.
Vince Carter.
That was the best. Vince Carter wasn't there yet. That was the best team that we played.
No, the Sixers wasn't play. That wasn't not that year. We didn't
That
play
wasn't
them.
that year. That wasn't that year.
Nah,
The
they
Lakers
didn't
swept-
play
the
them.
Lakers swept them in
We
the
played the
It's
Pacers.
the reason why the East won every year in that generation. It's the reason why the East won every year.
We played
It's the
because
reason
of the Lakers, Kobe and Shaq.
It's the reason.
It's called Kobe and
Okay,
Shaq.
then when Duncan and them went, they won. It's the reason why they won every year. Nobody was over
Exactly.
there.
Hold on a
Nobody
second.
was over
Hold on a
the
second.
battle.
Hold on a second.
No.
You just said it's the reason why they won. The reason
It's the
why they
reason why
won
the
was
West-
Kobe, Duncan, and Shaq.
Listen, okay, but it was weak on that side. Is what I'm saying.
It didn't matter. Kobe,
No.
Duncan, and
Sacramento,
Shaq.
Sacramento was weak,
It was no. We talking about the West was loaded.
but the East was weak.
Yeah, the East was weak,
All right, well, guess what?
terrible.
What we're not going to do is
Even when you look at
Hold
the
on.
All-Star games,
Hold
like
on.
you're like, well, they don't even got a
So this is
chance.
what we going to do.
You do know the
This is
East
beauty
beat the
of-
West in the All-Star game that year.
Hold on.
But they were shooting shots. They
Check
were
this
just
out.
playing.
Check this. This is the beauty of technology.
Nah.
What we can do is we always can come here and we can watch the Toronto series.
Absolutely.
And we can watch the Milwaukee series. And then, Jonathan, I think you're going to have a different like on this things.
Nah,
That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Listen.
Reggie Miller and them.
Because what year was that?
I was at them games.
What year was that?
I was at the games.
What year was
at the
that?
game.
What was that? 01?
Yeah.
Okay,
I was at the
Jonathan.
game. I made every game.
So 18 years ago, how old were you? See, you can't even tell me.
Why we
You
gotta
can't
talk
even tell
about
me.
that? Why we
I'm
gotta
just
talk about
asking.
that?
I'm just asking.
I was there.
I was
asking.
at the game.
Soon as got a ticket for me
You
to go
weren't
to the
even paying
Lakers.
attention
Listen,
to
the
the
champ.
game.
That's how I was. Soon was taking me to the Lakers and Sixers thing, but Soon said I couldn't wear my Kobe jersey, so I said I ain't going. He said you can't wear the Kobe jersey, but I got tickets to the game. I said, well,
and guess what you were
I
watching?
won't be
When
going.
you 18 years ago, guess how you watch basketball?
Listen,
you
points,
was just looking
buckets,
for a dunk.
buckets,
That's all you was doing.
buckets.
Crossover.
Listen,
You were just looking for a dunk.
listen.
We gonna talk. We gonna
I'm
jump
with
in here.
you.
I wanted to jump in. And we going back and forth. We'll talk about all this stuff is about beating Golden State, which I don't think is going to happen.
Nobody.
Nobody. I don't think it's going to happen because the reason is not only are they talented, but they are playing like a team. I think when people
Absolutely.
share the ball,
That's why they're winning.
Sharing the ball, their best players run hard, whether anybody's open or not.
It's a championship team with a chip.
Yeah, and they added another piece to it. So
You know, their thing is stop me. You know, this is ours.
and
Stop
everybody
me.
keeps trying to load up on talent, but it doesn't matter. If you take the Kyrie Boston situation,
If you buy into a system,
yeah,
it's like the Celtics, right? If you buy into a system, you're good.
and I think that's the key. And I think if you look at Kyrie and Boston, why people see Boston doing better without Kyrie, is because of the ball movement, the movement, team playing, whatever. Kyrie's a closer that you would like to have on the squad, but at the same time, you're not going to beat Golden State unless you go out there and you hustle and you play ball like everybody else is playing as a team.
Nah, you
And
know,
that's the only way.
listen, man. Let's
7 games, them guys not gonna miss shots.
nah,
Yeah.
man.
They not gonna miss shots.
There's a new
Listen,
hot guy
they
every time.
have a talented team. You got Steph, you got Clay, Boogie, Cousins, EU Dollar. They got all the pieces. They got all the pieces to win. And then what puts them over the top is them guys been playing together for a while.
Yeah.
So I know I can close my eyes and know where you need the ball. You know? So that's what puts them over the top. So you got guys in these trades bringing in pieces mid-season.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen like that. These guys been playing too long. That's no different than you going to get your best boys, right? in the middle school, and everybody knows they can play, but you're young, but you think you gonna go beat your uncle and them.
Yeah.
They got your uncle and them are not dunking, they not doing everything, but for some reason you just can't get to where you want to because these guys got experience.
Yeah, and I think Dre had pointed that out. He said our young guys aren't tough enough yet, and they need Jimmy Butler to step up to be clutch.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, but they just got to play smart. I mean, if they make their free throws, they beat Boston, but you got to win that game. You got to win that. I want to jump in and close out because we don't really talk about Major League Baseball. What's going on with that? You got Harper and Machado looking for $300 million plus contracts.
Look for it. Go ahead and look for it.
Keep on looking.
And they say that's what they're going to get. I mean, they say the revenue was $10 billion what baseball brings in, but I've never seen going into pitchers and catchers free agency not being resolved.
Right.
I mean, this is going to be interesting. The Phillies are in the hunt for definitely Harper, maybe both. You know, trying to bring them both in. But what do you guys think? You think this is going to be resolved anytime soon, or these guys going to something new in baseball where you show up in almost April, almost time for the start of the season?
Not, man. I hope not, man. It's like watching this, and it's almost to the point where I'm it's like you get tired of a story after a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait a minute, these guys haven't signed yet.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's
We're
all
almost at the end of February. These guys haven't signed. Who
that
the hell
money,
do they
man.
think
You
they are?
coming down on that money, man.
But the thing about it is when everything that you look at is they're being offered the money that they want. It's just that they haven't chosen where they want to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Or you got like a Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald type of situation where I don't want to sign before he signs because I want to get more money than him, which is petty because you're only gonna get a few more million. So you talking $300 million? What you gonna get? $310 if he gets $300?
And behind these two guys, there's other guys still waiting.
Yeah, everybody's trying to line up. Yeah,
they're just waiting. They're just waiting.
Listen, give me Mike Trout, man.
Yeah, that's what
I'm not gonna argue. One of Jersey's own.
Mike Trout trying to come back home too. So.
Give me Mike Trout. I'll take Harper. Honestly, I think I'd rather have Harper.
I'd rather have Harper.
The biggest decision for these guys is that 10-year, $300 million, and that means they're gonna be a fixture in that city wherever they go. That's the biggest challenge for them. It's not the money; they know they're gonna get the money.
Harper, Harper, he's young. They're both young, but I mean, I'd rather have
the bat, the power.
Yeah, I'd rather,
and especially in Citizens Bank Park.
Absolutely,
it's a park that you can get some things.
The money to me never really matters because it's not my money. And they're making a boatload of money.
Mm-hmm.
So, if that's what the market dictates, man, pay the guys. But this, whatever they're doing,
$300 million.
Whatever they're doing, going back and forth or leveraging, whatever it is they think that they're doing, they need to get it over with, man. This is getting old.
Yeah, I mean, it's time to jump in there and
hey, man, they right now they're rich. Yeah, it's like I'm still rich. All right, do you want to look? I already got $50 million. All right, but now I got a chance to get $300. Okay,
guaranteed too.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So people gonna still watch. They still gonna
Baseball season be here. Phillies looking for the upside, but definitely, fellas, another good session. Definitely Sports Talk Live for the culture. Keith, thanks for coming down, man.
Thank you, man. I'll be back.
Check us out next week. Me and Keith, we're in a chili competition.
Now we talking.
Come out to us.
Now we talking.
USP next Sunday at 12. We got
a chili competition.
Don't tell them too much about what we doing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever you do, right?
I ain't gonna say we got the secret ingredient.
All right. Whatever you do, bring a box of tissues because whoever got the snot rolling out is the winner.
True.
So definitely. But we definitely gonna be here next week. Hit it up. Sports Talk Live for the culture. We got a little collabro going up. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Hitting the spring. We're gonna be on hitting some new stations. Definitely.
Let's hit it.
Opening up our viewing audience. Definitely.
Let's do it. Coming.
We'll make that announcement pretty soon. Definitely in the spring, but definitely check us out. And thanks for Sports Talk Live for the culture. We out. Peace.